It is the 7th of July, 2015. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today. It is currently 6 p.m. Japan Standard Time, 5 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. 1, 2, 3 tropical systems we are talking about today. Of course, we have Chanhom, which is dominating the center of your screen. But towards the left, the Linfa, big rainmaker, has been causing all sorts of problems in the Philippines. And then we have Nangka, which has been causing problems in the Marshall Islands the last several days. Now moving away from there, expected to impact the northern Mariana Islands as we head into the latter part of this week. And by Thursday and the Friday, there really is going to be a lot of action going on. So let's dive into these storm systems and talk about what they're doing, starting with Chanhom here, which is now tracking off towards the northwest. It's actually expected to move towards the south of Okinawa at this time, likely as we go ahead into Thursday afternoon into the evening hours before pushing by right over Miyakojima, just here towards the southwest of Okinawa Honto. As we take a look at the satellite picture here, this is a visible/infrared imagery zoomed in on Chanhom. You can really see we still have an abundance of inflow coming in from the southwest, and that is providing a lot of the energy for this to strengthen. But don't forget, this is moving over some fairly warm sea surface temperatures. Actually, in the vicinity where the storm is right now, sea surface temperatures averaging around 29 to 30 degrees Celsius, and that's enough to really cause a storm system to continue to intensify. But furthermore, it is moving into an area of relatively lower vertical wind shear, about 5 to 10 knots, vice what it was seeing just a few days ago over the Mariana Islands when it was in an area around 20 to 30 knots. That was really disrupting that circulation. So I do expect this to really continue to intensify as we go over the next 48 hours. And even if I put the track up here on the screen with the forecast, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center does expect it to continue to intensify up to a Category 4 equivalent of a hurricane, and actually pushing right near super typhoon intensity as it pushes over Miyakojima. If you're thinking to yourself, oh my, Miyakojima is really going to be taking the brunt of this. I mean, pressure is going to be down there. We're looking at a Category 4 typhoon. But here's the fantastic news. Miyakojima, much like Okinawa Honto and Ishigaki, these islands right in here, you can see them on your screen, all of these are typhoon proof. Anybody that's lived on Okinawa knows this. Unless you don't venture outside or do anything stupid, and I think that's why the T-Core thing in Okinawa for the military there is so strict, because he just asks people to stay inside. If you don't venture outside, you're perfectly safe. Miyakojima, have to remember, it's a volcanic island, so really some steep cliffs. Storm surge not a big issue. Everything's reinforced concrete, and then we're talking about rainwater. If it does persist, it could cause localized flooding, but that's kind of a secondary effect on a small island, and it's really not a deadly effect, especially when you're talking about a Category 4 typhoon. So I think at this point, as long as people just prepare and really watch the storm system push overhead, and most people here have been through dozens of typhoons. Actually, it's something like in the US where you think, oh, I've been through 1 or 2 hurricanes, seen it all, and I know we've all met some of those people. Here's the thing, Miyakojima sees on average about 3 to 5 typhoons a year, and often these are super typhoon intensity. So hey, this storm system's gonna blow overhead, but I don't expect anything besides superficial damage. That's the fantastic news there. Even in Okinawa, things are still going to be blowing around. I'm expecting some tropical storm strength winds, especially in the southern end of the island, but nothing too damaging as long as people prepare. Northern Taiwan, I think this is going to be a big rainmaker, and eventually over there towards Fujian province and eastern portions of China. The big issues with that is that Linfa is already going to bring some heavy rainfall there into southeastern portions of China, and then we have Chanhom, which is just kind of running right on its heels, and that, regardless of exactly where it goes, I think this is going to be a big major rainmaker. And you have to remember, this entire area of China extending from Shanghai towards the west really has been getting impacted quite seriously by the rainy season front this year around the Yangtze River Basin. So what we have been seeing is some very heavy rainfall and already saturated grounds across much of this area. So more rain is really going to be a big threat with this. So I think that the rain with Chanhom in China is going to be the highest threat for serious harm to some people out here. Now look ahead into Saturday though. Look at this just massive flow of moisture coming in behind Chanhom. I think this is going to be another major issue. Look at that. This is just massive, and it's an indirect effect from this storm system. But this, if you're in the Philippines, is very serious. I think we're going to be looking at a very serious flood threat here. And honestly, I'm not trying to exaggerate, but I do want to stress how bad this is going to be. This is going to be comparable to the floods we've seen in 2013 in the Manila area. Remember, most of the city just completely submerged? Well, this is going to be something in line with that impacts from Chonhom as it does push overhead, and that moisture inflow just comes in from the southwest and continues to drench the Philippines, basically starting as we go ahead through Wednesday, Thursday, and really kicking in over the weekend. So guys, even if you are directly being impacted by that storm, you still want to definitely continue to watch it. Of course, Linfa is still going to bring some rainfall there into Taiwan. Very severe flood threat with this one as well. Good news, that is drifting off towards the northwest. The rainy season front's kind of pulling it towards the north. One big thing though is that we're not going to be seeing recurvature with Chonhom because of the Westpac high. It's just dominating. That's really going to play a big factor as well into Nangka, because I think that's going to start to linger here just south of Iwo Jima, basically into early part of next week. And it's kind of tough to see where this is going to go heading through the weekend, because if it does start to linger here and that Westpac high is still in place, it might eventually drift towards the north if it gives way, or it could continue to travel west. So Nangka, hey, you might be a surprise out here. We got 3 storms to watch, guys. Of course, Chonhom is the main topic, but Linfa is eventually going to continue to bring rainfall, and Nangka could be something to watch for mainly everybody out here from Taiwan north. Even the GFS model on its last one brought it around the Tokyo area. That's what we're going to be talking about here, but I cannot stress that threat of the flooding in the Philippines enough. And I think one of the big reasons why I'm really pushing this here is the fact that there's not going to be any signal force warnings or anything like that. This is going to be a major rainmaker, but it is not going to be directly associated with the typhoon. So try to get that warning out there. Try to make sure people are ready for this one. It's going to be a really rough storm. And then, of course, there in the center of circulation, looking at winds possibly near 300 kilometers per hour. All right, guys, stay safe out there. And as always, thanks for watching.